For now, we move on to Seth while aboard. We're talking with Seth in terms of the topic here. It's about culture, royalty, and restaurants. Seth, morning, man.
Good morning, Stefan. We Synergy TV and all of our viewers, both regionally and internationally.
Yeah, man.
All right, so topic this morning, culture, royalty, restaurants, and the connection to that and how it destroyed human nutrition. So,
Okay.
what I want to expose is something that most people never question, and that is we treat food as culture, we treat food as entertainment, and we treat food as tradition. But most people don't really ask, where did these habits even come from? Who invented this way of eating, and why did human health collapse the moment we stop being biological with our food? All right, because a lot of people are unaware that how the world eats today is not biologically in line with our makeup, our human body. So to understand that, why the world is sick, we have to understand a little bit of history and how the history was corrupted. All right?
Right.
So when we go into it, and what inspired me to get into this, I was talking to someone, and the individual is saying that, they are very health conscious and so forth. And when somebody say they are very health conscious, because I am very health conscious, I'm sure nobody would doubt that. So it caused me to try to understand the angle of being health conscious. And usually it's never based off of anything factual or scientific or any data. It's always based off of anecdotals. So they were saying they don't consume meat because if they're saying they have to eat healthy, they were asking me if eating healthy would require them eating any meat. And they said the reason being is because they have Indian ancestry, and in their Indian ancestry, meat hasn't been eaten for 140 years. So just from that, I ain't even going into any big sort of science. I say, but that is cultural, that is not biological.
Right.
Right? Because one, human biology cannot change within 120 or 140 year period. Stomach acidity don't change in that time span. Your digestive tract don't change in that time span. Your physiology doesn't change. Your nutritional requirements doesn't change. In fact, look at this simple logic. Every human being on the earth today have the same digestive system. Every single human being. Regardless of culture, we all have the same nutritional requirements. We all need the same macros. We all need the same micros, regardless of where you're from and what culture is being practiced. And that's something a lot of people are unaware of. So we need to understand where that change took place and how it went about. Now, if we go into some history here, back in time, the majority of humans, right, the vast majority of us, we used to eat for survival, not entertainment. It was always about survival.
Okay.
Right, like most organisms today.
Not nutrition. Not for the
not nutrition, right?
Survival.
But because of certain influences that have changed now. So as I go along, here's what we're going to see here.
Right.
So common people, they were not eating out, right? And people weren't chasing flavors or experiences as today, because that's what goes on today. People are chasing flavors, and they want to chase the experience. They ate whatever kept them alive, and that there led a lot of people, especially a lot of poor people, to just eat survival food, which was grains, porridge, stale bread, farming food. I'm sure you see those in those medieval time movies and stuff.
Yeah.
That is what people used to eat, a lot of those things. You see some hard bread, right? Drop it on the plate, right? So historically, the poor people suffered from deficiency diseases, right?
Okay.
Poor people suffered from deficiency diseases, which during that time span, when you would have seen those medieval times, 16th century, 15th century, all those times you would have seen a lot of diseases and stuff popping up back then. And then you had the royalty, royal families and stuff. They had the private chefs and stuff, and they would have hired the most skilled culinary individuals that specialized in in eating, and they were involving in eating as a means of luxury, indulgence, and entertainment. Again, also not for nutrition.
Right.
So they would have the multiple courses, you know, the elaborate desserts and the complex sauces and the sweetened wine and the refined pastries and stuff. So they ended up suffering from another issue. They ended up with diseases of excess. So that's why when I did the segment on gout, remember I mentioned that gout in the past there was classed, one of the names of it was the rich man's disease.
Right.
Because that came about due to overindulgence. So you had the two extremes. Poor people eating poorly nutritious foods, and then so the poor people eating for survival, and then you had the wealthy that were eating based off an excess of entertainment, right? And you would see shows like Game of Thrones that would have portrayed these things more accurately, where the wealthy and royalty had the cupbearer, and they always pouring them wine.
Cupbearer and drink,
right? It wasn't water, right?
More wine.
Right? Water and these sweetened drinks, all right?
Yeah.
And which, like I mentioned, it caused things like gout. Of course, it has studies now and data showing that sweetened food. And in fact, let me briefly share my screen here so that we'll see something here, because I just want to draw a parallel here. So, you know, I go to my usual PubMed. Let me know if you can see the screen here.
Yeah, we're seeing the screen, but it's black right
All
now.
right.
Right.
All right. Let me know when it's right. So
Lovely,
PubMed here.
top, yeah.
So this is from 2019. It says important food sources of fructose-containing sugars and incident gout, a systematic review and meta-analysis of prospective cohort studies. I just want to jump down to the conclusion. We don't have much time, so I just want to jump down to the conclusion. It says here, conclusion, there is an adverse association between sugar-sweetened beverages and fruit juice intake with incident gout, which does not appear to extend to fruit intake. Further research is needed to improve our estimates. So that there is telling us there that there is a direct connection between sweet drinks and fruit juices with regards to gout. And the reason why I mention that is because today, remember we have in schools the banning the soft drinks, but replacing it with fruit juices.
Fruit juice, yeah.
Makes no difference.
Right,
Makes no difference, Stefan. Makes no difference.
No,
right?
no, let me ask you something. All right. Soft drink, fruit juice, right. That's added sugar. Right?
No, not the fruit juice, no. The fruit juice already has fruit. In fact, what was one of the root words of fruits? Isn't it fructose?
Right.
That's why it's called fruits.
But this
right?
was what I want to ask you. Does this mean that the fruit itself is in the same category as the juice, as the fruit juice beverage?
Right. So what they mentioned in the study there, they didn't have a relationship between the consumption of fruit itself and gout.
Okay.
Right? And that has to do with quantity as well. Remember, fruit juice is you extracting the juice out of the fruit. So let's take, if somebody ate one fruit, you might get a little bit of juice from that one fruit. Yeah. But a fruit juice drink is a lot of it.
Right.
So when you're dealing with quantity, that's where the difference comes in, the quantity, right? So having a fruit, and that going to come with a lot of indigestible material, so you're going to feel full from that one fruit. But with the juice, you're not getting nowhere near as much as the indigestible material, the fiber and so forth.
Right.
So you're not going to consume that quantity of sugar. It's still a harmful sugar you're going to be consuming.
Yeah, but not
it's
in
not
quantity,
going to be in the quantity. All right? So these are things that people aren't aware of, and that's why I encourage people to get my book. They'll get a greater understanding of these things. All right? So when it comes to these things, so our government, they're banning the soft drinks, but they're pushing the fruit juice, you're going to end up with the same diseases. Right? Same diseases.
Okay.
Things not going to change. They take the advice from the wrong people. Keep in mind, the people that will advise them, okay, we'll cut these soft drinks. They have to make a profit somehow. How are we going to make the profit? All right, we'll just invest in fruit juices, so we will continue to make our money. Children going to keep being addicted. Children going to continue to get sick. That is going to spew addiction all the way straight into their adulthood, and diseases are going to continue because these diseases are extremely profitable.
Right.
Right? So keep in mind, governments are not, a lot of politicians are not researchers. They are not people in the healthcare field or holistic health or naturopathic health or any form of alternative healthcare. So they don't know. They just go with what they have been advised, and they trust their advisors. And a lot of the time, advisors only advise things that's in their best interest.
Okay.
All right? But anyway, let's continue. So when it comes to daytime now, all right, public eating places have always existed in the past, but it was things like inns and taverns and cook shops and these roadside sales, right? And they only used to serve like one particular meal. You might get like pork and beans, right? Or some kind of, that is it. And it didn't have, you have a special table and you're being served like that. It was a kind of cheap way for people or poor people to eat when you're traveling, right? You're traveling, you end up in a new town, all right? When this whole thing with restaurants and the fancy eating and dining came about, it had a lot to do with the aristocrats and the French Revolution. When that French Revolution took place, and a lot of royal families and aristocrats and stuff were either arrested, exiled, or even assassinated, right? Their chefs had to get new work. So what happened now is the chefs would have opened up these things to give the common person a royal experience.
Okay.
That's how restaurants would have come about in the sense that we know it today. All right. It was not about nutrition. It was not about nutrition, and that is what people need to understand. Remember, the royal families used to have these the menus, the special choices, the table service, because remember they have the money to pay these chefs to come and serve them. That was the purpose of chefs, to serve these royal families. All right. And food was a form of artistic display. So you used to have things looking fancy and all of that. These were all status claims. It was not about nutrition. This is why today people are uneven aware of the fact that they like restaurants so much. And if you notice, a lot of young people today, especially young females, who want to go out on dates. Why is the post up on social media? Because it's a status boast. It's a status boast. Look like eating in this restaurant.
I went to this restaurant, I went to that restaurant.
It has nothing to do with the nutritional properties of what's being consumed, if it's biologically aligned with their makeup. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. And so people are out here for entertainment purposes. They are trying to chase down flavors, dopamine releases, because I did mention that sugars are just or even more addictive than cocaine, right? Emotional satisfaction, excitement, novelty, variety, and then the elaborate presentation. These are all status stuff. These are all status stuff.
Yeah, remember
right?
a lot of people go to restaurants now. Well, not now, but people go to restaurants or they go to buy food and they like to take a picture of the food, especially in the restaurant.
Exactly.
It's because it's looking pretty in the plate and its presentation.
Correct.
So,
correct.
you know.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it is all about. Right? So a lot of people are out here, so they're chasing these things. So what does the chefs do in order to get more customers, to keep themselves employed? They start to invest more into taste. Right? So it's all about the taste. So you start using more sugars, more starch, more seed oils, more sweetened beverages, more processed ingredients, and all these flavor enhancers. And people are out here thinking, this chef is such a good chef. Why? It's not because of the nutritional quality of what is being consumed. Ask a chef. Ask a chef about bioavailability and see if they know about it.
Right.
They don't. So people are eating things and they're thinking, okay, they go with simple logic, which is superficial logic. It says that this have this nutrient in it. But can your body access that nutrient? These are the questions people need to ask. Look at something as simple as vitamin C. I think I also mentioned this in the book. All right? People think, all right, fruits are high in vitamin C, but fruits are also high in sugar. And sugar and vitamin C compete with the same transporters. And because of the sugar being worse, the body chooses to transport the sugar more to try to metabolize it as quickly as possible to get it out your system.
Right.
And the vitamin C is neglected. So though it has more vitamin C in fruits, your body uses it less. And the majority of vitamin C have to now be handled by your liver, which produces an indigenous form of oxalate. Oxalates have an attraction to calcium, and that form calcium oxalate. What is calcium oxalate? You know it has kidney stones, right?
Okay.
So vitamin C can develop into kidney stones. It can also cause digestive disorder. A new study shows that oxalate, calcium oxalate, can and does cause breast cancer.
Oh.
So people are out here chasing things that they don't understand, and this is why I tell people, Setwayo's Holistic Health Clinic, that is what people need to know. People need to understand that my organization is one that is designed in root cause healing through nutritional therapy.
Yeah.
Knowledge-based. Knowledge-based. And we take that for granted because people are out here running down quick fixes. My system is not a quick fix. It is a process. A process, right? Because people would call and say, what you have for this? What you have for that? It have nothing for that. It have a process for it. It have a process to heal you, right? It's not a quick fix. It's not take this and take that. It's a process. That process has to be guided. It has to be coached. But if you continue running down quick fixes, you would never fix your problem. You're going to be hopping from one problem to another problem, and then you're going to have compiling problems. Because again, root cause has never been addressed, and this is what we need to understand, and this is what we aren't understanding. People not fed up being sick. By now, people should be fed up of being sick, right? No disease is on the decline, and we just keep thinking, I want to find a way to get healthy while I still consume all the things that I love, which they'd actually love, you know. They'd actually love, because a lot of people don't even know what love is. Love is not addiction. Addiction is not love, right? It's foods they're addicted to, right? It's foods they're addicted to. They would say they love the food, but the food don't love them. You know what we call that? That's a toxic relationship, right? That's a toxic relationship, and a lot of people have toxic relationships with food. Right? So, on one hand, you're eating something that's abusing you, and you're still going for it.
And you're still going for it, yeah.
You're still going for it. Because you're getting a little bit of thrill and excitement from the dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I say, same thing. Some people will be like, oh, that woman abusing me, or that guy abusing me. But why they're still there? It's because there's something about that. In their mind, they're thinking, I could fix that person. Right?
Yeah.
So in people's mind, they're still getting something from the food, which is that excitement. So that excitement that I could fix that person is what keeps them there. And the excitement of, oh, this is giving me a little high from when I eat this. That is what they're chasing. And until we are willing to let go of these things, diseases are going to continue to plague us. Humanity is currently the sickest creatures in existence. And people seem to be quite happy being sick.
All right.
Right?
Well, Seth, we're out of time, but interesting discussion this morning. So people, remember, you can check out Seth, you can get more information on the topic, or you can book your appointment with him by WhatsApping or calling 279-3935 or 761-1952. Make sure and check him out. It is the Holistic Health Clinic, powered by
Don't forget the copy of my book.
And don't forget, you can also pick up the book at telling all you want to buy that book and take a read in that book. That book have a lot of information in it that will blow your mind. All right? So, Seth, thanks a lot. And we will see you next week, man.
Yes, next week.
Where's that? Oh, director said don't forget him.
Yes. I haven't forgotten him.
All right, now he didn't forget you. Yeah, thanks. All right, so